Hey everybody, welcome to Always Bored, Never Boring, and my review of issue 45 of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine. If you watched my last video, you will know that I promised to be as upbeat as I possibly could be about this particular issue, because I don't like the miniatures that came with it. But here's the deal. Warhammer 40,000 Conquest is a weekly publication from Hachette Publishing in association with Games Workshop, priced at $7.99 a month. As a subscriber, I get 4 issues a month in a single bundle, and this is the 3rd issue from my current bundle. It comes with 5 Space Marine Scouts, the old Space Marine Scouts that have been kicking about for what seems like forever. And yeah, I'm not a fan. Let's take a look at them. We'll cover the good things, and then we'll talk about why I don't like them. So here we have the frame. This is enough to make a full squad of 5 Space Marines. You get 1 Sergeant and 4 Grunts, and one of the Grunts can be armed with a heavy bolter if you so wish. In fact, if we can see here, here's your heavy bolter, and your Grunts have a choice of shotguns or bolters, or you can swap out their bolter for a combat knife, and then they basically have a bolt pistol and combat knife, because they have a bolt pistol as standard. I think the standard armament for a Space Marine Scout is bolt pistol, bolter, and then grenades. So you can switch the bolter out for a shotgun if you would rather, or you can switch the bolter out for a combat knife, and then they obviously draw their pistol, and they've got pistol, combat knife, and they're more suited to close combat engagements. There is also a chainsword, so that you can give your sergeant a chainsword. So basically you're looking at a sergeant with a chainsword and bolt pistol, a guy with a heavy bolter, because why wouldn't you take your heavy bolter, and then probably 3 Marines with bolters, or either or the shotguns. And this frame actually has a retail price of £17.50. If you were to go onto the Games Workshop website right now, £17.50 plus postage is what you would pay. So, paying $7.99 for the magazine and getting this frame on the cover is actually really good value. It actually equates to a saving of £9.51 over buying this frame. Unfortunately, I wouldn't buy this frame because I don't like the miniatures. And I believe this is the first time that we have had a fully customizable sprue of miniatures with Warhammer 40,000 Conquest magazine. In the past, they've either been the easy build monopose miniatures, or they have been the miniatures that you still have to, that still come in lots of different parts, but which basically go together one way. They might have a few options, but they still go together one way. This kit is one of the ones where you can, the torsos are separate from the legs, so you can position which direction the body is facing. There's a whole bunch of different heads, so that you can have different heads and have them facing in different directions. You have all the weapon options. So this is the first really fully customizable kit. So that's a good thing. So it's a good thing that you get a full squad of scouts, and scouts are cool. And it's a good thing that we're kind of taking that next step to the more complicated, multi-part, fully customizable kits. Unfortunately, to my mind, this is not the best kit to make that step with, because, well, first and foremost, I just don't think they're very good miniatures. I think that, these have been around for a while now, and I do not think they represent Games Workshop's best efforts. They're just not very good. But also, they can be a bit of a pig to go together. I know in particular, the heavy bolter, trying to get the heavy bolter with it's got like a little handle on this arm here, and trying to get that all lined up so it all works. It's not easy. It's a bit of a struggle. There's lots of tweaking involved to get things lined up right, and it's a bit horrible. So that's my main reason why I don't like them. I'm also not particularly excited about getting a sprue of these because I already have a bunch of Space Marine Scouts because the Space Marine Scouts came bundled with the Shadow War Armageddon box set. You actually got a set of the regular Scouts and a set of the Scouts with the sniper rifles, which is actually a better set. But then also I've got the Lost Patrol box game, which comes with this same frame again, because you get Scouts with that game. So that, on a personal note, I wasn't particularly excited about getting a squad of these, because I already have a bunch of them. But yeah, they're not my favourite miniatures, but it is interesting to see that move to the more customisable type of miniatures. Anywho, let's have a look at the magazine that goes with it. The magazine could well be a saving grace, because like I say, not that excited so far. So we've got some background fluff on Scouts and what they are all about. Bit on the Scout Armory, on their different war gear options. I don't like the look of the shotguns. I don't know why. I just don't like them. Just me, I guess. Here's a look at the different options. We've got the shotguns, the combat knives, which are almost like swords, the chainsword. They're either big knives or a small chainsword. Bolt pistols, camo cloaks, sniper rifles. You don't get any sniper rifles with this particular set. There is another frame of Scouts, which I believe we are getting in a future issue, and they come with the camo cloaks and sniper rifles. Then obviously bolt gun, and then we've got frag grenades and crack grenades. So there we go. And now here we've got the building stuff. I guess this is going to be a couple of pages because, like I say, these are a little bit more complicated than we have had in the past. Yeah, you can see the torsos going onto the legs there. When I've assembled these in the past, I just don't think the torsos fit very nicely on the legs at all. All of the legs have like a bolt pistol holster on the side, and it just seems to stop you having a lot of control over which direction they're facing. It looks a bit blocky. It looks a little bit like the bodies are slightly off kilter, a little bit slanted sideways. It's difficult to explain, but I just never really liked the way they go together. Here's our options for building our Scout Sergeant. So he's got bolt pistol and chainsword, and then a choice of one of the heads. I've assembled some of my Scouts by swapping out the heads and giving them different stuff. And then we've got the heavy bolter. This is the one that, if you're putting this one together, watch out for this one because it is a bit awkward because the body goes on, the arm goes onto the body here, and then you've got this arm here that's got the little handle, and it's tricky just to line it all up and make it look half decent. And you are basically limited in having the bolt gun pointing upwards like that. Don't try and get the heavy bolter level horizontal because it won't go. The arm won't reach it, and because the arm's got the little handle on it, it needs to reach. It's just the way they've cut the miniature into pieces to do it. So unfortunately, yeah, you are limited with that particular pose. And then we've got the options. You've got the bolt gun or the shotgun. And you've got a little bit more control over those. You can have them sort of pointing up, pointing down, whatever you want to do. And then if you want to build your Scouts with the bolt pistol combat knife combo, you can do that as well. And then there's a bit here about all your little twiddles and diddles, your little accoutrements that you can stick onto this side. The kind of thing that often I don't bother sticking on because as much as I love miniatures with lots of detail on, quite often I leave off all these bits because quite often they look like they look like things that have been plugged onto a miniature rather than bits that are part of a miniature. I don't know if I'm making myself clear there, but quite often I stick bits onto the waist of a miniature, and then afterwards I look at it and go, well, that just looks like it's been stuck on, and then I just pull it back off again. I tend to go for a slightly cleaner look. And you've got the painting guide. Obviously, starting with my crack blue, doing some Rakarth flesh for all the bits that aren't power armoured. sloshing on some lead belcher. Look, really sloshing it on. You've gone over his face a bit there, mate. Abaddon Black, and then all the other gold bits, Mephiston Red and Bugman's Glow, painting the face, washes and highlights. It's all pretty standard. The painting guides in this magazine are always good. They're always very clear, and I do like the very close-up pictures they do. They do a good job of showing where everything's supposed to go and what it's supposed to look like. Yep. Mechanica Standard Grey on there. Oh, it's highlighting black with grey. Well, there we go. And then putting on the Astro Granite. There is just one more task before you finish for now. Applying Astro Granite to the flying stand. Make sure you completely cover the base of the flight stand. What are they talking about? That's a cut and paste error from a previous magazine, isn't it? I guess if we were to go back and look at the issue when we had the Inceptors, are they called Inceptors? The guys with the jump packs. I bet there's a box just there on that particular page of the painting guide that says that. Bit of a fail. There we go. They're looking quite nice. Tabletop ready. Oh, and look, there's a section here showing all the different options, how to paint the different weapon options. That's good as well. Lovely stuff. And a bit on war gear options. So obviously, like I say, this is the first time we've had a lot of different options. Some of the vehicles and things have had different weapon options, but this is the first time we've had a lot of different customization options and build options. And we've got stuff on the war gear options here. So we've got the shotgun, combat knife, chainsword, heavy bolter. You will notice that the scout kit only has 4 combat knives. The chainsword has exactly the same rules as the combat knife, but can only be wielded by the scout sergeant. That's not right, surely. Well, that's weird. The chainsword is exactly the same as all the other options, but only the sergeant can wield it. Weird. And yeah, the chainsword's not even listed as a weapon option. They've only got the combat knife option. That's weird. And then we are into a new mission. I guess it's going to be a mission where we get to use our scouts. A unit of Space Marine scouts has been sent deep behind enemy lines. Their mission is to extract sensitive information from broken and discarded computer terminals, ensuring that the Death Guard don't get their hands on vital code ciphers for the defense network. And then we've got a bunch of computer terminals. Oh, look at that. Terminal tokens. So you can cut them out, stick them on a serial packet, just like the good old days. Or if you have Necromunda, or indeed the terrain packs that they did, which came from the Necromunda core set, they have really cool, nifty little terminal miniatures in that game. So use those instead. Right. Space Marine players are victorious if they collect 3 objective markers. Either player can win the game by eliminating all enemy units. And it really is. It's just a unit of scouts against 4 units of poxwalkers and a plague champion. Ooh, yeah. I see a lost patrol moment coming up. The scouts, they always have a rough time of it. But anyway, that is that. Let's take a look at the next issue. It contains a whole heck of a heap of Death Guard miniatures, which is very cool. There's a very cool set of army building miniatures there, because you get your bloat drone, more Death Guard Marines, and a Lord of Contagion. And then in issue 47, we have a Space Marine Land Speeder, which is absolutely awesome, because that's a full vehicle kit on one magazine at $7.99, so that's going to be a great discount over retail on that miniature. But anyway, that is the whole kit and caboodle. As always, I'm going to put up a price comparison thingy here, which is the price of subscribing to the magazine versus the price of purchasing all of the products off the magazine at retail, not taking into account cost of the magazine, not taking into account any freebie gifts and things like that, and not considering online discounts that you may be able to get. Just price for the magazine versus retail price for the products, which hopefully you will find useful. But that is it from me. Please leave your comments and queries below if you have them, like if you liked, and hopefully I will see you all again very soon. Bye bye everyone. Bye bye.